All right, we are on session number 13 today. And uh, any questions from any of you about what we have done so far? Or let me finish Law 20 and then we'll go ahead. I'll just
Okay.
do a run through the dead ball law just to highlight a few points. That one of the most important things that we ought to remember is the ball will be deemed to be dead from the instant of the incident causing the dismissal, whenever there is a dismissal. And also that when the ball is considered to be dead, there is another provision where the ball becomes dead and the ball is called dead, but there is also something where the ball is neither of the two, it is considered to be dead. And in the umpire's mind, he should, looking at the fielding side and both actors, that they have ceased to regard it as in play when both of them. He then makes up his mind that this ball is dead. And if he wants, he may also announce it if he wants to. Or if there is an event, he may announce it. Ball is dead in case there is an event. Then ball finally settled. Again, it is the umpire, and here it is the bowlers and umpire. Similarly, here ball finally settled. It is the umpire, the bowlers and umpire, whose opinion will prevail over anybody else's. Nobody else's opinion counts. The umpire alone will decide whether the ball is finally settled or not. And when it comes
Okay,
to finally
sir.
being finally settled, yes, yes,
Sir,
Kabir,
can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. What about you?
Oh, yes, sir, I can hear you. Actually, I'll
Okay,
change
okay.
my.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
okay.
okay,
So, when it comes to ball finally settled, the only criteria that we should, as practical umpires, be looking at is that when the ball comes to the hands of the wicketkeeper or the bowler, their intent is not what we should be looking at. Whether there is at that time there is an opportunity and sufficient time elapses. When the ball comes to him, there was no opportunity to run out the striker or the non-striker in case the non-striker is outside. Then in that case, you would be within your rights to consider that the ball is finally settled. Their intention or the wicket keeper hanging back with the wicket that we saw in a few cases is doesn't keep it live. Doesn't keep it live. So you have to cut things off at some time. Uh, Sometime or the other, you have to cut things short. Otherwise, they'll go on playing tricks there. So we don't want that to happen. Now, call of over or time is made only when the ball is dead. Therefore, the call of over and time does not make the ball dead. And I have mentioned to you that don't be in a hurry to call over. Never turn your back on a live ball, because if the ball is in motion and being thrown, it is not reached anywhere. You can't even consider that ball is dead or finally settled. So please don't do that, because then if it's suppose that throw from the deep directly hits the wicket, and you have just created an awkward situation for which there is no solution. You can never claim I considered the ball as dead. Now the ball thrown from the deep, you can't consider it dead also. So it will lead to trouble. So spend those couple of seconds more, wait for the ball to arrive, reach somebody's hands, and then you can take a decision. And after you decide that the ball, you consider the ball to be dead, call over and walk away. But never turn your back on a live ball. Now, umpire calling and signaling dead ball, the law lists 13 instances, and it also says in the 14 that there are other ways, other laws also tells us, which are 18 of them. So a total of 13, 31. In all these cases, remember, when either umpire is required to call and signal dead ball, in all these cases and the others, the ball will be considered to be dead at the instant of the incident causing the ball to become dead. So this changes things quite a bit. And also, when read with Law 20.6, which says uh, once the ball is dead, no revoking of any decision can bring the ball back into play for the delivery. Like I told you that it is a once in a lifetime thing that you might on the field, if you ever feel like it, you may revoke your own decision when on the field of it, when on the field of play. But today the third umpire has the power to revoke as many decisions of yours on which you may have given out. He can turn it down. And even then, this law will apply. Once the ball is dead, no revoking of any decision can bring the ball back into play. So when I have given a batsman out, the ball becomes dead from say LBW. Ball becomes dead on impact with the pad. So with the working of 20.113, the ball becomes dead on the at the moment of it. So it becomes from a few seconds back, not from the time you give the batsman out. And you're revoking the decision or the third umpire revoking the decision does not change uh, anything, doesn't bring the ball back into play. Now here is an interesting example I wanted to show you. Now look at this video closely. This bowler has bowled a ball which this striker uh, has got a very thick edge, but he was given out, LBW, and he started running. He started running, and then he felt he couldn't make it. He went back, but the ball hit the stump. It was thrown by close-in fielder, and he was out, run out. So he never referred the LBW to the third umpire. He never referred the LBW to the third umpire. I do not know how this was recorded in the records, whether it was recorded as a run out or whether LBW, I do not know. LBW wasn't questioned. So it must have been LBW because that is, he's raised his finger like this. Uh, Now look at the application of the law. How this law will work in this situation.
Heading towards 150. And he's given big appeal. It would have been run out as well.
Listen to the sound of the ball hitting the stump.
But it doesn't matter. The finger has gone up.
But he never questioned it. He said, "I'm out." I walked away. Look at this. Very thick edge. Definitely the third umpire would have revoked this.
Scary. He definitely hit that. He's definitely got a bottom edge on that, which is a massive. And Shamsi, after going for 13.
Listen to the sound of the ball striking the wicket.
Towards 150. And he's given big appeal. It would have been run out as well.
You heard that.
Hits a direct hit.
Now the point I am trying to make is,
and Shamsi, after going for 13 runs in the over. Shamsi going a little bit fuller in this case.
here the ball becomes dead. Though I have given it, the umpire has given it out a second or so later. Here the ball becomes dead because the umpire has given it out. And therefore, that run out will not count. That run out will not count.
He's definitely got a bottom edge on that, which is a.
Had this man known how this law operated, he would have referred the third, the LBW decision gone this way. LBW will definitely get turned down, and he would have survived even the run out. But he accepted his dismissal and went away. He never questioned the LBW. So had he questioned the LBW, the ball was dead. That ball was dead. And by revocation of the decision also, the ball doesn't come back into play. That ball does not come back. He would have survived and continued playing, which you may consider it right or wrong. But I'm talking about the application of the law. You may have a view about whether this is right or wrong. Did he have any right to continue? Perhaps not. But then this is how the law would have operated. Had he done this, the LBW would have been turned down, immediately reversed by the third umpire on first viewing because it was a clear thick edge. Now the question arises whether that run out is to be considered, because I told you at that point the ball became dead. Absolutely dead as per the application of Law 20.113. Dead. So that run out can't count. That run out cannot count. Alright? I hope you are with me on this. Okay. Now, after going ahead, ball will not count if the striker not an opportunity. Are we reading this? All right. Dead ball not to be revoked. We have seen 20.6. Now we came up to here and to continue. Dead ball counting as one of the over. Now you will see that this is a repetition of law 17. This is a repetition of law 17. When a ball other than one called either no ball or white ball, which has been delivered is called dead or to be considered dead in other than in 20.7.2. See, 20.7.2 has been exempted, will not count in the over if the striker has not had an opportunity to play it. Any ball which has been called dead, he has had no opportunity to play it, will not be considered as a ball in that over. A ball will be held to be a valid ball if the striker had an opportunity to play it. This is uh, the same thing stated differently. A ball will be a valid ball if the striker had an opportunity to play it. We saw it in Law 17. If he had an opportunity to score from that ball and play that ball, it has to be counted in the over, except the same exceptions will be there. No ball, white ball, like I told you, 20.4.2.6, 20.4.4, 28.2, 41.4, 41, all these are given in Law 17. Uh, no ball, white ball, 20.4.26, and the fourth unfair, uh, four unfair play, actions of unfair play, four of them. One is not given here, 20.4.2.5 is not given here. This appears here because in 20.4.25, whether to count the ball or not to count the ball will depend on your satisfaction about the reason for uh, backing off. So it can be both. That is why they have put it out. They have not given this all in the whole lot, because here there is a difference. In all these cases, there is in law 17 they were all together. Here they have qualified in the case of a batsman backing off, whether to consider the ball a valid ball or not is left to the umpire, which will depend on his satisfaction about the reason for his backing off. If he is not satisfied for his reason for backing off, he will count that ball. He will count that ball in the over. That side loses one ball. And if he is satisfied about the reason, he will allow that extra ball. That example is before we saw yesterday, where in that Pakistan-Bangladesh match, if the umpire were not satisfied about the reason, the match was over. One last ball delivered will be considered to be a valid ball and delivered. But if the umpire considered that ball has not properly delivered, which was the case because it is a fair thing that he had only looked up and he found the bowler as almost at that time left the ball and let go of the ball, he would have allowed that ball. All right. And the other case we saw about that Sri Lankan batsman, Sri Lankan bowler and Pakistani batsman who deliberately backed off as a kind of getting back at the bowler who had in the previous ball delivery stopped at the in his delivery stride. So next ball he also backed off. Now that reason is not valid. That is not a valid reason. And if I was the umpire, I would, knowing that this is the background and the reason for his backing off is clearly trying to get back at the bowler, I will have counted that ball. I will count that ball as one on the over and also give him a warning for time wasting like we discussed. So here in 20.4.25, the ball will not count in the over only if both the following conditions are met: that he was not attempting to play the ball and he had an adequate reason for not being ready. Umpire feels he had an adequate reason, then in that case, wonderful, I'll not count the ball. I'll give him one ball. Otherwise, that delivery will be a valid ball. It will be counted in the over. This is why, and this is a rehash of Law 17 that we have seen earlier. That is all it is. Nothing more than that. It doesn't add anything except it makes something a little clearer for you. Okay. So are we clear about the various vagaries of this dead ball law? Which I think there are quite a few things of interest here, and it will certainly change a lot of your thinking as we have been following the dead ball law in the previous years. Now all these things will undergo a change. Some of the things that we used to do, our idea was that if we have not called dead ball, everything stands, or we cannot call dead ball later. The time is past for us to call dead ball. No, all that is gone now. So therefore, uh, you and there was no provision to correct an umpire's error. He may make an error like we saw there. He did not call dead ball, and he was adamant. He cannot. There is no chance of correcting an umpire error, or there was no chance for. It may not be an error, but then he did not simply. The umpire simply did not have time to call dead ball. Like a batsman getting severely injured and falling on the wicket. Where was the time for him to call dead ball? Or a batsman has immediately started off under a misapprehension, and you miss calling dead ball. The law now allows you to call dead ball and save that batter because the circumstances are very clear. He has backed off and not made attempted to play. You're supposed to in these circumstances call dead ball. Bail has fallen off. You did not realize at that time. You realize only later when the third umpire tells you dead ball. Call it later. No matter then the ball has hit the stump and broken the taken off the other bail. You can't give that out. You cannot give that out. Or the ball has hit the stump and without uprooting it, it has gone to the boundary. You cannot give that 4 runs. You are precluded from doing it because when you call dead ball becomes effective from the time the bail dropped. Well, from the time the bail dropped, nothing else after that counts. Nothing else that happens. It is erased from the tape. It has not happened at all. So don't let your conscience trouble you over it. You're only applying the law. Whichever side is affected, you don't care. You're there to apply the law. Rights and wrongs, everything has a right, the way you look at it. Depending on which dugout you're sitting, it looks right to you when you're in this dugout and it appears wrong to you when you're in that dugout. As far as you're concerned, you belong nowhere. You're in the middle, and then you just have to apply the law without thinking too much about ifs and buts. You're there to apply the law. Then similarly, when there was another example that I was talking about, the batter has left under a misapprehension. There's no time for the umpire to react, and somebody breaks the wicket. Dead ball. So dead ball becomes effective from the time this fellow packed his back and started moving. So the run out doesn't count. Run out. So these are the areas where uh, our thinking will have to be radically changed, and also there was again also the question of the dead ball law altering also a small change in the dead ball law, altering also the two laws regarding precedence of bowled as against other over other the methods of dismissal, and law of precedence in the court law, where over others, all others except bowled. The idea there now is that if there are two decisions, both might be out. If you have given the first decision, the second decision hasn't happened. But if you have not given a decision, please go ahead and apply the precedence law, which is there in the bold and in the court. Now, in most cases, it does not make a difference because the same batsman is out. It is only of academic interest that the ball, what is to be given you, how, in what manner you give him out. But in the case of a caught and a run out, caught and a run out, it makes a difference because then another batsman is out. So you better be clear about it. If you have given it, well and good, because you've done nothing wrong. You An appeal has been made to you, and you have reacted to the appeal. No umpire will really look for where the ball is going. He won't follow the ball. You wouldn't do it. Nobody would does it. So if you have given it, that precedence, the run out will prevail. Caught has never happened. But suppose you have not given it, then definitely the striker is out caught. Then you apply the precedence law. So this is how these changes will affect your thinking, the way we have been doing things, the way we have been doing things. Now we've come to the end of Law 20. Any questions you might have on Law 20? Anything that I have not made clear? Anything that you think?
I,
Yes,
I have.
yes, yes. Go ahead.
I think
I
we
think
hear it.
we
Are you hearing an echo
Yeah,
when you speak? All right, all right.
yeah.
I'll quit and come back on the browser. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
yeah, I can.
All right, you can all hear me, no? That's fine. I heard you too.
Okay, okay.
Share the
The
screen
question.
again. One
Okay.
second, let me share the screen again. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the question that I had is that you said that earlier, when the ball is settled in the wicketkeeper's gloves and or the bowler, um, after that the intention does not matter.
Yes,
Now, if you read the law 20.1.2, the ball shall be considered to be dead when it's clear to the bowlers and umpire. No, no.
yes.
Wait, is that the one? Oh, yeah, yeah. So bowlers and umpire that the fielding side and both batters at the wicket have ceased to regard it as in play. So
Uh,
if there is
no.
some intention, that means either wicketkeeper or batsman may not have considered that ball is dead. So they may have
Yes,
some.
I agree with you, George. In this case, yes, you have to look at the intention of both the batting side and the fielding side. That both of them regard. He's not. The batters are not interested in taking run, and the bowler or the fielder to whom it has gone. Now, remember, uh, there is a difference between the two. That the ball has finally settled. I was talking about the finally settled business where this aspect you there is no opportunity. If both batsmen are out, please do not consider it outside the crease. You will not consider it as finally. We are talking about this law, finally settled, where consideration about their behavior is not there. It is when the ball has gone to say short leg or to short mid wicket or wherever, somewhere close to the field pitch, and that fellow has started. You can visualize he started rubbing the ball on his trousers, and then he might even pass it on to the uh, towards mid on, the closer fielder to him. And the two batters were also cool about it. And now suppose that mid-on drops the ball and it goes behind the two batters, you will not allow them to take a run. because under these in these circumstances, two sides comes into play. Batters at the wicket and fielding side comes into play. Not in the case where it is finally settled in the hands of the or a wicket keeper or the bowler. There you will look at the opportunity. Now Ishan Kishan in his mind might have intended to take that run out and all that, but there was no opportunity. He allowed too much time to elapse. Dead ball, dead ball.
Okay.
So that is
Okay.
what it is.
Okay. So the
So intention
20,
doesn't count there.
okay.
Intention
So
doesn't count there.
okay. So the 20.1.2 is only when the ball goes to the fielders, not
Yes,
wicket
yes,
keeper or the bowler. Okay.
yes, 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 yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's
Because
clear then. Thank you.
finally settled is only in the hands of wicketkeeper and the and any other fielder. You will apply this. No finally settled.
Okay. Okay. Thank
You
you.
will apply this. Okay. Yes. Anything else?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. बोलिए.
Sir, where can I find this precedence of law in dead ball, sir?
कौन सा वाला?
ये सर जो आपने बताया कि प्रेसिडेंस ऑफ लॉ जो आउट का है ये डेड बॉल में कहाँ पे है सर?
नहीं, डेड बॉल में नहीं है. एक बोल्ड में है,
राइट राइट सर.
एक बोल्ड में है और एक कॉट में है.
राइट सर. Sir, I can't hear you. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Can you
Yeah.
hear? Can you hear me
Yeah.
now?
We can hear
Yes,
you
sir.
now.
Now we can hear you, sir.
You can hear me now?
Yes, sir. Now we can
Yeah.
hear.
Okay. Okay. I do not know
Even
what's the problem.
even when you were answering my question, right? A couple of times you kind of went dark. So
It did.
yeah, yeah, a couple of times. You kind of in and out.
No, I don't know. If you can see my screen, you'll see that speaker is default headset. Petron is bright white, whereas I do not know for what reason here it is grayed. I don't
Yeah.
understand that. Why should it be grayed when I'm selecting Petron? Now, do you continue to hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, all right. I hope otherwise I can switch to a USB desktop also in case we have problems. I have that ready also with me. Okay.
Okay.
Now the point here is, Shweta, that bold to take precedence is a law, and bold will rank over every other decision. But only if you have not given a decision. The LBW आपने पहले नहीं दिया है. Caught और bold में तो possibility नहीं है. LBW में है क्या है? LBW, the ball hits the pad and you raise your finger and the ball trickles and slowly and goes. The batter is watching you. The ball goes and hits the stump. Now, if you have not given the decision, bold will prevail. You will apply this law. But you have given the decision LBW, then this is thrown out. That is why it is altered. Then, when I told you about Frank Chester and the other umpire, his opinion was that once I gave LBW, the ball is dead. Now, I'm talking about the 1930s or 1940s when this first happened. But the lawmaker said, no, we will treat the bold will prevail. But today we are going back to that what that man had said. Similarly, in the court law, court to take precedence. If the striker is out caught under criteria 33 years and the striker is not out bold and there is no bold involved, because when there is bold involved, then it is bold, and there is no bold involved, then he is out caught even though a decision against either batter for any other method of dismissal would be justified. Any other method would be justified. There could be another instance also where the ball has been hit, the ball has touched the fielder, the bowler, and rather not even touched the bowler's hand. It has gone straight to the striker and he has deliberately hit it off, which is obstruction. Which is obstruction. Now, then that ball is even goes and out, is out caught. But then in that case, what will happen is the catch is obstructed by here. The catch is obstructed in both cases. The striker is out. The both cases the striker is out. So what I'm trying to tell you is what I was telling you was, suppose in the incidents where caught and run out is there of the other bat non-striker. If you have not given the run out, then this will prevail. But if you have given the run out, then the caught has not happened at all. That is the gist of what I was saying. This is what I was saying. Okay. Now coming to any other questions on Law 20? Yes. Now before going to Law 21, I just want to show you a few videos because I told you, if you remember, there are a few things that were there. Now look at some of these decisions, deliveries here. Now, in the dead ball law, there is one more clause now, the new one, which says that the batter should not leave and no part of his bat or person, whether grounded or grazed, remains within the pitch, is one law about which there are now in this particular case. Now, look at where the batter is gone.
Call a card. It's just chased after this. Oh, I've got to see it again. Both umpires coming together. Yeah, oh my goodness me.
Sorry. Now, here, leaving aside the question of whether or not this is a valid ball or not, properly delivered ball, this ball is called dead because the striker has left his pitch entirely. No longer is this allowed to happen. Therefore, it is dead ball. He has left the pitch. That ball can also be called, will of course be called no ball for two reasons. I'll tell you the reason. One is that above the waist height. Above the waist height, certainly it is. Okay? But dead ball, certainly. Dead ball, certainly. Now look at this, another one.
Mr. Singh,
Now look at this
hello,
here.
hello.
The ball has bounced twice and he is outbowled. At one, when this law was first introduced, it was two bounces were allowed. Two bounces were allowed. Now only one bounce is allowed. The second bounce, if it takes place before the popping crease, is to
Excuse
be.
me, sir.
But here this man was out.
Excuse me, sir.
Now here ball pitching
I,
outside the
I don't think
pitch,
he can hear us.
behind the umpire, front foot.
Something happened to his audio.
Here ball pitches outside. Look at this.
Excuse me, sir.
No, but Ravi, I'll come to. Let me first discuss. This is a no ball situation. This is a no ball situation. Now look at this thing for a minute. This is relevant from another point of view also. Shoaib Akhtar is bowling to Braden. Where has he gone to play that? Off the pitch.
Excuse
He
me,
can't do
sir.
it anymore. It's dead ball. He cannot do this anymore. Nobody can do this. Now let me show you another thing here. Another of the whole link to videos.
Can we?
This was
I
the
don't know if
second
we
delivery
get a
where,
message.
Haddon went back. Now here ball pitches outside. Look at this. Now here ball pitches outside the pitch.
I'll call him.
Yeah, please, sir, call him.
Yeah, let me call him.
Hmm.
Hold on.
Am I audible to you, sir?
Yeah, let me call him. Just 1 second.
Yeah, please, please, sir.
Yeah, George.
Mr. Singh, we cannot hear you. I mean, we are
Okay,
talking. I think
okay, okay.
you
Sorry,
cannot
sorry.
hear
Thanks.
us.
So I wasn't on the screen, so therefore you couldn't signal to me. Okay, thanks for calling.
Okay. I mean, we can hear you, but I think you cannot hear us.
Now I can. Okay, or I cannot hear you. Okay, okay. Let me check that setting. Let me check
Okay.
that
Yeah.
setting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You can hear me.
Yes.
Now tell me. Now tell me. Speak up.
Can you hear?
Yes. Tell me. Speak up.
Check. Speaker check. Can you hear? Can you hear?
Hello.
Yep. No. No. Looks like you cannot hear us.
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay.
I
All
can
right.
hear.
I'm gonna.
I can hear you. All right.
You can hear us, Mr. Singh?
Yes. Yes. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. All right.
Right. Right. Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you are not on screen, you might have been trying to signal to me, but I didn't see
I
it.
was. Yeah.
All right. All right. See, now what happens is, I was telling you about this.
No, what I was gonna ask you was that the first one, right? I think the Cartrell ball that went off the pitch.
Yes. Yes.
You think that umpires' signals were in a wrong order or incorrect order?
I'll just come back to that. I'll just come back to
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Okay. Now look at this, a very old incident where this happened in 2011. Okay, and nobody took a decision about this thing. That this fellow Braden went behind the stumps to play. One ball has already been called no ball. Now he's gone behind, right behind. Now this ball was a free hit, and he left his stumps and unprotected and went behind to play. Remember, this cannot happen now any longer. The ball will be dead. The ball will be dead. Now let us see what happened. This ball was also called a no ball, and hadn't Brad hadn't played it again in the same way, leaving his stumps unprotected. The point I'm trying to make here is that it cannot happen anymore. This cannot happen anymore. Dead ball. The moment he leaves the crease the pitch area entirely, dead ball. So now, which now the MCC perhaps accepts that it can pose dangers to a member of the fielding side. So they have disregarded it everywhere. Now they say they have disallowed it everywhere. In all three directions, the batter cannot leave his pitch in order to play the ball. From 2011, they have decided this now. So this is the background I wanted to do. He's left the crease, dead ball. What the umpire will do today is called dead ball. All right.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Tell me.
Sir, sir, the ball seems to be legal delivery. It's batsman action that makes ball dead.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Will that ball be counted, sir?
See, when I come to Law 21, I'll just discuss it. There is a provision in the law now which says that in case the batter, if bowler bowls a ball which is so far away that the batter has to uh, batter needs to go that far and play it, it is to be no balled. It is to be no balled. But in here in Shoaib Akhtar's case, that it was not his fault at all. So you will never no ball it. He did not cause the batter to leave the pitch area. His ball was proper. So that won't be no ball, but it will be dead ball because of the batter's action. Okay? Why should you be penalizing the poor bowler? All right. Now you were asking me about
So
that.
here ball will be counted, right, now, sir?
Yeah, of course, it's a it was a perfectly valid ball. The first two were no balls in their own right for foot fault, but the third
Right,
ball which went and hit the stumps, it was a proper ball. There was no problem at all.
right, sir.
No problem at all. Now look at this, George. You mentioned this particular incident. This was it. Yes, you were talking about the George. You were talking about the signal.
Yeah, I just thought that it was, the I don't know. What do you think? The order, it should have been no ball, dead ball, right?
It should have been no ball and dead ball. Yes, there are many things wrong here. One thing wrong here is consultation.
Right.
Why did he have to go and consult? That ball was so far away, and uh, and he had left the pitch. No need to consult unless he wanted to consult whether or not it was a valid delivery. I mean, properly delivered ball. Now here it was too high, so no ball definitely, and dead ball definitely, and free hit. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
There was no need for consultation. या तो I consider it a not a properly delivered ball, dead ball.
Um,
Then nothing else then matters. Yes, you think
second video, yeah, Mr. Singh. I don't know the Shoaib Akhtar's video. At one
yes,
point, umpire did like this, or you can see me. He did like
he
this. What
made
is
a
that?
cross. He made a cross signal.
Yeah, what is that for?
I think at that time it was the signal for a free hit. At that time, I
Oh,
think that was the signal for the for a free hit. And later on, it has become this.
okay, makes sense.
Later
All
on,
right,
it has become this. Yes. Otherwise, it was not one of the recognized signals that we have now.
yeah, that's what
Okay.
I'm
Sir,
looking.
Yes, Shweta.
sir, can we go back to video second that you have shown two bounces?
Shoaib Akhtar.
No, no, sir, second video. That two
Which one?
bounces.
Uh-huh. I'll show it to you when we come to that. Let us discuss. It is a no ball thing. So it
Right.
has more to do with no ball than dead ball. So I'll just show you that. There
Okay,
will be
sir.
others about no ball that I have to show you. वो भी मैं दिखाऊंगा. Okay. All right. Where has Shubhadar disappeared to today? There is no
Yeah,
message.
he was there for a few minutes, sir. But
Yeah,
now
देखो,
he just left.
she was there. She must be having some problems with the this thing, her link. Now where is my thing gone? Yeah. Okay. Now let's go on with the no ball law. All right. Uh, what actually exactly is the no ball? What exactly is a no ball? Uh, in the game of cricket, there are some minor offences, and the no ball is but only a device for the umpire uh, through the means of these small violations, the fielding side gains some advantage. The fielding side gains some advantage over the batting side. No ball is a tool whereby you call no ball and nullify that advantage which the fielding side has gained. Like front foot no ball means that he is bowling too close to the batsman. So he's gained an advantage. No ball, that means what happens is the case of a no ball. If you go to see, no ball is a three-pronged tool. Three-pronged tool. One is that the delivery is not counted. Second is uh, that one run is given. And the third is that all the methods by which the bowler will dismiss the batter, the striker, are all nullified, cancelled. He can only be out, run out, and obstructing the field. Otherwise, all manners in which the striker gets, the bowler gets credit, they are all gone. It is already a three-pronged tool. It is supposed to nullify the advantage. Like for instance, another instance is that if by encroaching on the pitch, I have gained an advantage, no ball, so it gets cancelled. Three men behind the popping crease, no ball. That advantage is to be, the intention is to cancel that advantage. You have made not to arrest the game. We want the game to go on. Otherwise, we'll be stopping the game every now and then. So the law says let the game go on, but penalize the fielding side. Let the game go on, but penalize the fielding side. That is the intention. That is where the no all the different kinds of no ball come into effect. There are other fielding lapses like limited overs, not more than five on the onside, and not more than five outside the circle, and all that. Minimum of a maximum of five and all that. All those regulations they give some advantage to the fielding side, which the no ball will nullify. Nullify. And when I told you that it is already a three-pronged tool, it is like a three-pronged uh, tool. That is why I do not like detest the idea of a free hit. Why are you burdening the fielding side with a free hit? It is absolutely unfair. Absolutely unfair. What is a lapse? It's a minor lapse. It is not an unfair. It is not even unfair play. It is a minor lapse. You already given them three punishments just by calling no ball. Now you're giving them a free hit. I have not seen anything more unfair than that in this game. But then the ICC is not likely to change this soon unless somebody's thinking drastically changes because the public is now loving it. They cheer whenever free hit happens. A no ball occurs and they see the signal of the free hit signal there. They go a roar goes up. So the ICC is not likely to change, but then it is very, very unfair. For one small lapse, you already got three punishments, and this is a fourth, which you are giving a free hit to the batter. It is absolutely unfair to the fielding side. As it is the fielding side, you have hobbled the bowler in a lot of ways. Number of overs limitation, short ball limitation, uh, ball over the shoulder limitations, fielding side limitations, not more than two behind the popping crease, not more than five on the onside, and then within the circle limitation. The bowler is suffering a lot of disadvantages over vis-a-vis the batter, and now on top of that, you are also giving them a free hit. So it doesn't seem right to me, but then that is how it is. Okay. Now, looking at the dead no ball law, you can sort of classify these into various categories. Like one, bowler's actions, actions of the bowler himself. Within that, you got change in the mode of delivery. Change of mode means change of arm, change of side of wicket, where he doesn't inform this change. Uh, it is we are supposed to call no ball. Underarm bowling, though it is prohibited, if somebody bowls it, it will be no ball. A throw is prescribed. Now throw in the delivery side is supposed to be no ball, whereas now throw on the run up, like I told you, is no longer a no ball but it is dead ball. They have changed the law. Bowler breaking the wicket in his delivery is now a no ball. And foot fault of the bowler. Front foot there are two rules and back foot there is one rule. So these are all the bowler's actions. After that, fielder's position and action. More than two behind the popping crease, fielder encroaching on the pitch, wicketkeeper encroaching on the pitch, and fielder intercepting a delivery. A fielder who is maybe off the pitch also, you, to call no ball even there. Ball goes and strikes him. No ball. He is silly midon. Silly point. And a leg spin bowler ball goes and hits that silly point. He has not deliberately done it. Hits that silly point fielder. It's immediately no ball and of course dead ball also. Right? In this case, it is a no ball and dead ball. Then behavior of the ball after delivery. Behavior of the ball after delivery. Ball bounces more than once, or it rolls along the ground, or it stops before reaching the striker. In that case, it is no ball and dead ball immediately. This is the second case of no ball and dead ball. And if the he causes the striker to leave the pitch, no ball, and dead ball only if the striker leaves the pitch. Okay. The ball pitches outside the pitch area is also a no ball. Any delivery that pitches so high over the head of the striker standing upright as to prevent him from playing the ball is a no ball now. Under the MCC laws, the ball passing from here is a no ball. In ICC cricket and other cricket, this is a white ball. Remember, this is a white ball. So in ICC cricket, if the batsman hits this ball, he can still be out caught. Under the laws, because this is a no ball, and if I hit it and I'm caught at long leg, it will be not out. So I think this is the better law, but then the ICC hasn't changed it. The ICC sticks to this being a white ball. The ball passing from here is a white ball according to ICC even now. But when we are doing the laws, we will do it according to this. All right. So we have just seen behavior of the ball after delivery. This is one more category, all of them. And acts of unfair play, like dangerous and unfair bowling, short pitch bowling, no ball is there. Before first step is no ball. Deliberate bowling of full pitches is a no ball, followed by other action, of course, and deliberate front foot no ball. So these are all no ball actions. These are acts of unfair play. So there are 21 instances where a no ball is called. 21 instances. And if you are preparing for an examination, my suggestion to you would be also make a note. Also make a note of the instances where no ball is immediately followed by a dead ball. Here there are three of them. Make a note of these because then when it actually happens on the field of play, you might not remember that you are supposed to call dead ball also in this case. So there are three of them. No ball and dead ball. There are three of them. Okay. Please remember that. So this is how you can categorize. These are the different categories. I have put it in my book. It is there in the form of a table where I have categorized this. Otherwise, then now let us go on and read the laws which are there. Now, mode of delivery. The umpire shall ascertain whether the bowler intends to bowl right-handed or left-handed over and round the wicket, and he shall so inform the striker. So the burden is upon the bowler, the umpire. We are supposed to, in the first instance, inquire how do you bowl right arm if you don't know him, but you ask him at least whether you are bowling over the wicket or round the wicket. Now, a guy like Kapil Dev, he's a nice guy. He might not say anything. He'll tell you right arm over when you ask him also. But there are bowlers who are well known might even tell you that, don't you know how I bowl? But then you are under duty to ask him, find out from him. So the tactful way is, will you be bowling over the wicket or round the wicket? We know that Kapil Dev bowls over the wicket. Round, or he'll say, no, I'm bowling over the wicket. Fine. That we have to then inform. The burden is upon us to first find out in the first place. Thereafter, if the bowler fails to notify of any change in his mode of delivery, the umpire will call and signal no ball. The umpire will call and signal no ball. The change in his bowling arm or round the wicket, over the wicket, if he changes that, it will immediately be a no ball. It will immediately be a no ball. Underarm bowling shall not be permitted except by special agreement before the match. You can still play a match with underarm bowling provided you agree to do it. But if there is no agreement in advance, it is not allowed. And it will be given the same treatment as for a throw bowling. Somebody who throws the ball, it will be given the same treatment. Here they start that it is not allowed. Then later on they tell you that what action is to be taken. Now fair delivery the arm. For a fair delivery, now look at the law. For a delivery to be fair in respect of the arm, the ball must not be thrown. Now they have defined to us the throw also. A ball is fairly delivered in respect of the arm if once the bowler's arm has reached the level of the shoulder. In the delivery swing, the elbow joint is not straightened, partially or completely from that instant until the ball has left the hand. What happens is, now looking at the definition of throw, this is another unnatural definition of throw which they have given us. Uh, just like waist height is an unnatural definition they have given us. Even for the throw, they have given you an unnatural definition. Now I have got a ball in my hand. Now I've got a ball in my hand. Now you observe any group of young children or whoever, some bunch of players who are in a circle and they are throwing the ball at you. All right, I am one of them. What is really happening now? Now I am throwing the ball. What is really happening now? What is happening? What exactly is happening to my arm? And when is it happening? What is happening? Can you see and tell me what is happening here? All right.
Arm is bent.
Uh, what is really happening? Arm is bent, all right. But what is happening to my arm? The bent arm.
Later, it is straightening, sir, later on.
It is straightening. Bowling with a bent arm is permitted. That bent arm should not be straightened, whether partially or wholly. I had a bowler in my bank team where I used to play for PNB, Sunil Pendulkar. He was an off spinner, right arm off spinner. His arm, he used to bowl like this, and his arm always remained bent. It was never straight. You can bowl with a bent arm, but you cannot straighten that arm. That is so what is happening is, if you notice, the elbow joint is straightening. The elbow joint is straightening, which was bent, it is straightening, and also which is the feature of a throw. Straightening of the elbow is the basic feature of a throw. Now, when is this happening? At the instant of release of the ball. You look at anybody. For a throw to be effective, the straightening is happening at the release of the ball. Now, this is the natural definition of a throw. This is a natural definition. But the lawmakers have said that there should be no straightening of the arm once the arm reaches this shoulder. You may straighten it here, doesn't matter. But once it reaches here, this this there should be no straightening. So from here to the actual delivery, if there is any straightening, not at the instant of delivery alone, over a time frame. If there is any straightening, it is a throw. Nobody really straightens the arm and it gives him no advantage. It is only when you impart this thrust to the ball, there is an advantage gained. But then the lawmakers have made this the law, so you can't help it. Now, if I show this a graphic to you here, so once the arm reaches this position, from here to here, this if this elbow joint is straightened, it is a no ball. It is a no ball. Earlier, and it was the law when we started umpiring, I started umpiring, that straightening had to take place at the instant of delivery, which is the natural description of a throw. You see anyone, this is how you will see, this is what happens. When an additional impetus is given to the ball, which is what gives the unfair advantage to the bowler. But now the law says anywhere from here to here, the straightening occurs, either partially or wholly, it is a throw, and you will call it a no ball. This is the difference between the legal definition law in the laws and what used to be earlier, and which is a natural definition of a throw. You watch any number of children, a bunch of children, when you're next out on a field of play, watch them, or players throwing the ball to each other. The straightening happens here. But the law has changed that definition to include right from the time the ball reaches, arm reaches here, it should not straighten anywhere, right up to the delivery. It should not straighten. That is the definition of a throw. A bowler is permitted to flex or rotate the wrist in his delivery swing. The primary responsibility is of the strikers and umpire. Give me a second here. If I have another picture here, no, that is another book of mine, which is the question bank. I'll just open that and show you. Or give me a second. This is the incident, famous incident of Trevor Chappell, brother of Greg and Ian Chappell. He bowled that no ball, underarm, last ball, New Zealand versus Australia. It was legal at that time. If you inform the umpire, you could bowl it. Now it is not allowed. Now look at this bowler. This is a straight arm, this is a bent arm. Now this bent arm, if it remains bent, it is allowed. But if there is the slightest straightening in this arm, it's a no ball. Now here is a perfectly straight arm, there is no problem here. But if this is straightened in the delivery, this is a no ball. This is a no ball. Remember that. That is the difference here. Okay?
Sir,
Yes?
sir, can we assume if the arm is bent that it going to be straightened later on?
No, 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 no. There is no assumption. You have to actually see a straightening of the arm. If you don't see a straightening of the arm, it is absolutely, there is no problem at all. Now I had an okay, and you have to, from that position, have to be able to see that there is a straightening of the arm. If you haven't seen it, you won't call it. I'll give you an example from my experience. I'll just tell you. Now, A bowler is permitted to flex or rotate. Now, the primary responsibility is of the strikers and umpire to assess the fairness of the delivery in this respect. However, the bowlers and umpire is not debarred from calling and signaling no ball if the ball has been thrown. Many a time, though it is assumed that it is felt that the square leg umpire, now I am watching the feet and I'm at the bowler's end, I am watching the feet, my eyes are on the feet, but you should also stand so far back that at the periphery of your vision, his arm should be visible to you. And if he straightens, I have actually called at least 2 or 3 times. I have called a bowler at the bowler's end because I saw here that his arm went like this when he threw that ball. And because it was visible, though I'm looking at the feet in the periphery of my vision, that arm is there. You should also stand back. But a lot of times, and many bowlers, their throwing might be visible from the bowler's end and might not be visible to the square leg umpire. It is all that is also possible. Now you're at square leg, uh, you're free to go to the offside. Suppose you ever feel that some bowler has a suspect action or he's throwing, you're not very sure. You might quietly go to the offside, not making it clear that you're watching the arm, though he'll realize it. You go there to view it from another angle, view it from another angle, and if you see it, you call it. If you don't see it, you don't call it. But see, you are given a position on the field of play, either square leg or you go to point. Now, or you can just alert your bowlers and colleague also. You're not very sure. You tell him, look at his arm. So, for 1 or 2 deliveries, I wouldn't look at his feet. I would look at the arm, concentrating more on the arm. You may do that as a team. You may try and catch him. But very often, let me tell you, the bowler's arm, sometimes you see better a throw from the bowler's end rather than from square leg. Somewhere the angle makes a difference. From bowler to bowler, it can differ. I remember in my case, once it happened, I was umpiring a match, Karnataka versus Hyderabad. Now there was G.R. Vishwanath and this man was there. Jayaprakash was the captain in that same game where the pitch was dug up and all that. And Brijesh Patel was there. Other side, Arshad Ayub was playing India bowler. Arshad Ayub के बारे में बोलते थे कि बीच बीच में वो ऑफ स्पिनर फेंकता है. Now I was at square leg and this guy was bowling from the other end and a ball which came in rather rapidly to Jayaprakash. Jayaprakash threw down his bat and made some drama. And I didn't say do anything. I did not react. He was looking at me and pointing out to me uh, that he threw that ball. G.R. Vishwanath did this. एक ball उसको तेज आया, so he did this like this. At that time, his colleague was Brijesh Patel. So I didn't do anything. Later on in the match, Brijesh happened to be next to me at square leg. He said, Mr. Singh, don't you think that Arshad threw a few balls deliveries? I said, look, you people tried to convey to me that he threw the ball. Uh, Jayaprakash and GRV and you all tried to convey to me. But from square leg, I did not see it. And you might have noticed I even went to the offside. And I could not see that he threw. So if I don't see it, I will not call. They were great personalities of their time, and they could push you into calling him. But you don't see it, you don't hear it, you don't give it. That is how you should be umpiring. You may be big shots, I don't know, but then if my role is if I see it and just on your say so, I won't give anything. So he was okay with that. I told him, look, you people try to convey to me, but because I did not see it from my given position in the field, what should I do? I'll not call him. So he was okay with that. So that is how it should be. Now, even if later on Suppose you miss a throw, and the match referee comes to you during the lunch interval and shows you the clipping that look, this fellow threw that ball. All right, he threw that ball. I missed it. Okay, I'm a human being. I'm from see the camera views it from a different angle from what is available to me. So from what was available to me, I couldn't see it, and therefore I did not give. And now that you have shown me, I would tell the match referee, now that you have shown me, don't expect me to call his first ball, because again the same criteria I will apply. If I can see from my position, I will call. Just because he doesn't throw every ball. So just because you have shown me one ball he threw and maybe I missed, I will still not call it. So never be prejudiced. Even if you have seen him throw, it doesn't mean that he throws every ball. So that is how you should be actually umpiring. You see it, give it. You don't see it from your given position in the field. Those are your given positions are your restrictions. If you had access to camera and all that, you would never be wrong. So see, if you see it, give it. Otherwise, you don't. So even when you are at square leg or at the bowler's end umpire, uh, follow that particular thing. And if the match referee has shown you during lunch, doesn't mean that you start calling him. Then you will get caught out the other way. That you called something which he has never thrown. He didn't throw at all. Don't let that happen to you. Don't let that happen to you. Okay. So it is the primary. So either umpire can call a throw. Primarily the bowler, square leg umpire, but the bowler and umpire is also free to call for a throw, which I have actually done in fact. Okay. Now the here this 21.3 lays down the action to be taken. Action to be taken is in if both cases uh, here after the bowler. Now, in both cases where the ball is thrown or delivered underarm, action by the umpire. After the bowler has entered his delivery stride, if he throws, before entering the delivery stride, he throws at the striker's end, it is a dead ball. We know it. We have been told this quite clearly. We have been told this quite clearly. So, after the bowler has entered his delivery stride, if in the opinion of either umpire the ball has been thrown or delivered underarm, unless you have agreed to play underarm bowling. So in both these cases, that umpire shall call and signal no ball, either square leg or bowler no ball. First action is no ball. And when the ball is dead, inform the other umpire the reason for the call. If I am at square leg, I'll tell I'll signal to my colleague that yes, there is a straightening of the arm. So he knows that it is a throw. Then and then the bowler and umpire will also issue the warning. He'll in turn signal to the square umpire there, issue a warning indicating that this is a first and final warning. This is a first and final warning. This warning shall apply to that bowler throughout the innings. Inform the captain. Now this is action informing the batters at the wicket of what has occurred. Remember that this action is a two-step action, warning and suspension. One warning is given and second suspension. So let us see what happens later on. If either umpire considers that in that innings a further delivery by the same bowler is thrown or is delivered underarm, he or she shall call and signal no ball, and when the ball is dead, inform the other umpire of the reason for the call. The bowler and umpire shall then direct the captain of the one field. One warning has already been given. You will now direct the captain of the fielding side that please remove this bowler from the attack. So it is a 1+1. One warning and action. And remember, in the case of a bowler, all actions they culminate in suspension, not in a fire run penalty. Against the batter or the fielder, it is a fire run penalty. Against the bowler, all actions they finish at suspension. from bowling. So also in this case, direct the captain of the fielding side to suspend the bowler immediately. The no ball is already been called. The over is, if applicable, shall be completed by another bowler. The conditions are that he should not bowl and neither have bowled the previous one or part thereof, nor be allowed to bowl any part of the next over. Okay, that is the condition. We know that. But remember one thing: now the bowler suspended shall not bowl again in that innings. Inform the batter at the wicket, and as soon as now the action is done, this is the process of information, and finally the process of uh, report, where, like I told you, the first person who is acted against is the captain, the bowler will be acted against, and if appropriate, the team. Now, mostly this is a common occurrence that throw ho gaya, so team might not be acted against, but if it is underarm bowling, definitely the team must be acted against. All right.
Okay, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, this 21.2 fair delivery.
Uh,
Sir, this clause come under ball thrown to 21.3, right?
yes, 21.2, yes. The,
This clause come like ball thrown,
yes.
right, sir, right. Earlier I used to
20,
consider it
21
as a
point,
separate,
21.2 is the description of the offense,
right, sir,
and 21.3 is the action to be taken.
right, sir,
21.3 is the action to be taken, what we have just discussed. बीमारी वो है, इसका इलाज ये है. That
yes,
is
sir.
what it is. All right, they have described it. Whereas here they are discussing what is to be done if either he bowls underarm or he throws the ball. What is to be done? One in the first instance, one warning will be given, and then in the second instance, if he does it a second time throughout the innings, in that innings, now this offense is bowler specific, not for the team, entire team. It is bowler specific. That one particular bowler. And if that same bowler bowls the ball underarm or he bowls this thing throws, then in that case he is suspended from bowling. Now what they have also done is they have clubbed. They have clubbed underarm bowling and throwing. I see it that they have clubbed it. He shall call and say, or delivered an underarm ball. They have clubbed it. One ball he had thrown and the other ball bowled underarm. They have clubbed the two offenses together for the purpose of action. ऐसा नहीं कि वो एक अंडरआर्म डालेगा, एक थ्रो डालेगा, एक अंडरआर्म डालेगा, फिर तो आप उसको दो अलग अलग वार्निंग देंगे. नहीं, दिस इज वन प्रोसेस फॉर टू ऑफेंसेस. Remember that this is one process for two offenses. One process for two offenses. They have clubbed the process. Notice that they have clubbed the process. He throws one ball and he bowls underarm another ball. He's out, suspended. That must be noted, please. So here in this case, it is a warning or one warning and suspension. Okay, the warning is now here. The reporting is done. It is over with, done with. Now the bowler throws towards the striker's wicket before delivery. It is now dead ball. It is only mentioned here that before entering the delivery, we discussed earlier in the dead ball law, if he throws at the far end, it before entering into the delivery side, it is a dead ball. But if he does it in the delivery side, it is a no ball. Okay. Now, fair delivery, the feet. This is the commonest that we see. We see it on TV every day. As far as the front foot is concerned, there are two aspects to it. Two aspects. So let us take the back foot first. The back foot, where is that back foot? The bowler's back foot lands first. The bowler's back foot must land within and not touching the return crease appertaining to his or her mode of delivery. When he comes up, that near bowling crease is the return crease is there, it must not touch the return crease when it lands. That means afterwards, if it moves, it is all right. But in the once it is landed clear of that line, it is perfectly all right. Now I had Ashok Pankaj was a curious kind of bowler. He was not a normally a bowler, but he used to bowl slow off spin. He used to bowl when his team needed his services. He used to bowl, and his foot used to land well about 3 inches inside the return crease. But when he pivoted his body, his back foot used to go like this across the return crease, and the chalk would also spread about 6 to 8 inches on the other side. That is not a no ball because his landing was proper. That is what is to be seen. Once his landing is in order, further movement doesn't count. So he was one very curious bowler. His foot would, after this, when he used to turn his body, his back foot used to swipe across the return crease, actually rub across the return crease. And so many of his deliveries I had seen during my time, and it was definitely not a no ball. So that is what is meant by this. The landing is important. So also in the case of the front foot, bowler's front foot must land with some part of the foot. Here in this case, whether grounded or raised, I'll show you examples of this. Uh, on the same side as the imaginary, now they have, we always see that whether grounded or raised, behind the popping crease, which we see on TV. But now they have added a rule, one imaginary line. Uh, he should not go on that side of the, when he is bowling over the wicket, he should not go, his whole foot should not go round the wicket. His whole foot should not go round the wicket. That is now also to be judged as per the front foot and is to be called a no ball. I had one bowler, uh, Avdut Dharapkar. He used to play for Sungrace Mofathlal, one of the top teams in Bombay. His foot, front foot, was always where the striker would take his guard. Always there. Where the striker would take his guard. Always there. I do not think that at that time there was no such regulation. I did not think that the ball, his foot ever went to the other side fully. I don't think. But he was always troublesome. I had to tell him, Avdut, you are coming in my way, right in my way. I can't see the ball, striker play the ball. How can I give it an LBW? I used to tell him every time. Whenever he tried his best to, whose foot will always go there, right where the guard is marked by the striker. Guard mark उधर ही पैर जाता था. Always. He is the only bowler I have really seen doing that. Nobody has even come close to that. But even then, somehow they have made this a law that on the same side of the imaginary line, middle stump के उस तरफ जाना नहीं चाहिए उसका पैर. अगर if the foot goes beyond the middle stump, now it is an imaginary line. Now they make things so difficult for us. We have to judge on an imaginary line. Line decisions apart. Now imaginary line also. The foot going entirely there. That is also supposed to be called a no ball. That is also to be supposed to be called a no ball now. Again, there once the foot has landed inside and then it goes further forward, it is not a no ball. We will look at some examples here, and let me show you some examples from my this question bank book. Now follow this kind of code. The foot has landed, which is I am showing in dark. If it is like this, then it means that the heel is raised. The heel is shown as white. And this is the movement after landing. This is the landing and this is the movement after landing. Just follow this. Look at this. Is this ball or no ball? And if so, on what foot?
Sir, no ball, back foot.
No ball, back foot, yes. It is on the other side of the return crease. What about this one, 118?
Sir, front foot, no ball.
Front foot no ball. What about this? 119.
Is okay, sir.
It is okay because the front foot is connected only with the popping crease, not the return crease. Here the front foot. Now a guy like Ravi Shastri used to bowl like this. Guy like he would come from this side of the wicket and put his foot to right, sometimes even beyond the return crease here, this much, up to here, about 4 inches, 5 inches return crease. He was a tall guy. This foot would land here and this would go here. This foot would be landing outside the return crease. Here it is cutting. So this is not a no ball. What about here? 120, 120.
Sir, if I'm not wrong, back foot is touching return crease.
The back foot here, the heel is raised. The
Fair
back
call.
Sir,
foot is not touching the return crease because there are some bowlers who bowl on the balls of their feet, who do not land their heel. Some spinners who will bowl on the. There are few bowlers who do that. Now he is that kind of a bowler who lands on the ball of his feet, panjo pe hai, and heel does not touch the ground. It is raised like this, and therefore he has not touched. This is all right. There is no problem there. Front foot is okay. Back foot has not touched the return crease. It has not touched. Okay. Now here, what about 121? 121. Yes.
sir, okay.
Because the landing is proper and then he has slipped and gone forward.
Yes,
Similarly,
sir.
the middle line, he has landed inside and then the foot has slipped outside.
Wait,
So both of these we will not call a no ball. It is the landing that we have to see. It is the landing that we have to see. Now,
Mr. Singh,
this is a no ball.
hello.
Yes, somebody saying
Um,
something. Yes, George.
yeah. Can you go back to 120, please?
Yes. Here, this one.
No, 120. Yeah,
120.
here,
Okay.
right. So I think you said that. So it's the initial landing. It what
The
is the
first,
law?
the
What law
first
says?
landing, the first
First,
landing of the foot is what is important.
right. So
Like I told
now,
you, gave you the instance of Ashok Wankar. Afterwards, his foot would move. But
right.
once the landing is proper, then the future movement is not to be counted. Further
So
movement is not to be counted.
so in this case, yes. So he lands the back foot, and then lands his what do you call the ankle down. It's fine.
No, 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 no. See, what the ICC and all they have instructed, uh, first at contact,
Which is this?
first contact.
Right. That is toe. Let's assume that's
First
toe.
contact, first contact, sir, is not landing. I look at it that weight bearing. Now, if here I am talking of a bowler who bowls who never lands his back
Okay.
foot heel on the line.
Okay.
A lot of bowlers who will bowl, especially spinners,
Right.
who
Right.
bowl on the balls of their feet. The back heel doesn't land. Here the heel has
Yeah.
not landed at all.
Oh, that is one case. Right. This is
That
not
is
a no
one case.
ball. That is not a no ball.
Another cases which now they follow in the ICC, and a lot of bowlers are now getting away with back foot infringement, because when you show uh, the toe touching, see, you don't have on your the matches you umpire for that kind of thing. You have to have slow mo cameras and third umpire looking at it from a particular angle, different angles. Then you can know it. But for the common umpire, you have to have the landing, means that the weight, when he is bearing his weight, not his toe has touched. After that, his foot has completely come.
Yeah.
He is touching the return crease. That's a no ball. For a common umpire, that is a no ball. It
Okay.
may be an
Because I've
higher.
seen, yeah, I've seen few instances, right? When I umpired, I've seen this happen where the bowler would land on his toe, right? Then he would land his front foot. Then his ankle would go down to the to the touching that line. I've never called it because what the way I read the laws is that it
No,
says the first landing.
at that stage, generally, uh, his movement is already been transferred to the front foot.
Right. So it's okay.
His body movement is naturally transferred to the front foot, and after that, if he moves his back foot and it touches the line, it is not a no ball.
Okay. Okay. That's what I was asking. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
not a no ball.
Okay.
Like Ashok Bankad used to do. He put his back foot down properly. His front foot would come down, and when he used to put his front foot down, his back foot would,
Okay.
slash across the
Right.
return crease. That
Yeah.
movement
Okay.
is perfectly all right.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I
I
am
think that's
talking
clear.
about nowadays. They show you on TV that in the first instance only his front foot hasn't come down. In the first instance, they show even the back foot landing like this, and then his full weight bearing. I'll show you
Yeah.
videos about that. His weight is fully coming on that. They don't call that. Now for
Okay.
that you require a television camera and slow motion,
Right. Right.
which you
Okay.
don't have in your common matches.
Right. Right. True.
So
Yeah.
for
Okay.
us, for us common umpires, that is a no ball always.
Okay. Makes
You
sense.
can't
Yeah.
judge it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
cannot judge it. You don't have the facility to judge that.
Yeah. Okay.
Slow mo and this you don't have. So that is for you. No, I'll show you that. I'll show you videos of that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now
Thank you.
coming to this, yeah. You're saying something?
No, I said
Yes,
that's
John.
it.
You said
No,
something.
no, that's it. I said thank you. That's it.
Okay. Now, is this a no ball? Now, this is the popping crease here. And here the foot is, a part of the foot is behind the popping crease, but it is not on the ground. It is raised. Is it alright?
It's okay.
Yes, it is alright.
Yeah.
Fair enough. There's so many nowadays they show us that yes, it is raised. Even though raised, this is permitted.
Yeah.
Now here, this is the case of Ashok Pankaj I was telling you. He lands his foot correctly. Front foot goes down and the back foot slashes across the return crease. This is a fair delivery. Or his foot moves after that and touches the return crease. Perfectly alright. This is not a no ball. Okay. Here there are other examples here. What about 124? What about 124? Yes. How's 124? How do you
I
call that?
would. I don't. I mean, I think that's a no ball because I mean I cannot really tell, but he's touching the back foot. Is touching his line.
Back foot was beyond the return crease. It is a no ball.
Right. So that's a no ball. Yeah.
And 125,
That's a no ball too.
yes, front foot.
Yeah. Front foot
And
no ball. Yeah.
126,
Fair ball.
fair ball. And here again, what about this?
Does someone else want to answer? I don't want to hog all the answers.
Yes,
Sir,
Shweta.
sir, if I can see this, that I'll call it snowball, sir.
This is a no ball because he has cut the return crease.
Yes, sir.
Return crease is unlimited in length.
Yes.
He has bowled from behind. He has cut it. Now here, just like here, his front foot was outside the return crease. That is also no ball. And here he has cut the return crease because it is unlimited in length. Okay. Then we have, uh, is this a no ball?
Yes,
128.
yes, sir.
Yes, it is a no ball. Uh, what about this? Is this a no ball?
Yes, sir. No ball, sir.
See now, this foot is
No,
landed
no, sir.
here.
No, no, sir. Just wait.
Yeah.
This colorless pass is first landing, right, sir?
No. Black is first landing.
A black is first landing. It should be no ball, sir. It should be no ball.
It is a no ball. Now,
Yes, sir.
I have encountered this in one match. I was umpiring in Mohali. I was umpiring Challenger Trophy, India A, B, C, and all that. Dhoni was playing there in a big tournament. And from my end came to bowl uh, Mongia, Dinesh Mongia. He is not usually a bowler. But Dinesh Mongia came to bowl from my end. And the fellow, I think he bowls left arm. His front foot would land like this outside the crease, sideways. And when his body pivoted, his front foot would straighten like this. He would go from here completely outside the return crease, outside the popping crease, and with his body pivoting, it would come inside. As a result, as a result, the on the big screen and everywhere, I used to call that no ball. And big screen पे दिखाते हैं 4 फुट 4 इंच अंदर है, foot is inside by 4 inches. He would tell me, sir, oh, my foot is inside. I had to explain to him. Who will explain to the crowd? The crowd is also seeing on the big screen that the foot is inside. Even then the umpiring calling it a no ball. I told Dinesh, भाई जरा पीछे से डालो तो तकलीफ ही मिट जाएगी. But he couldn't stop himself. He went on bowling like that. I must have called him about half a dozen in 2 overs, about 3, 4 at least I called him. His foot would go like this and would turn like this and come inside, about 4 inches inside. Now it became he was really troublesome. That is the only bowler I have seen doing like this. Dinesh Mongia. He would put his foot outside and in turning his body to deliver the ball, his foot would come inside. Leg would straighten and come inside. And the big screen would show it. The big screen would show it. It was a real trouble for me. So I told him, look, that is a no ball because the first landing is what is to be seen. The first landing is what is to be seen. Okay, all right. So that finishes the foot fault no balls. I hope everybody is clear about it. And for now, let me show you if I can. Now here, look at this. This has been given a no ball on the back foot, and the umpire said that you came in from outside the back foot. What is the error of the umpire? You just see, and it was out also. Whoever bowler. Look at now. See this view. Is that a fair delivery or a no ball?
No, that looked like a fair delivery to me.
See, it was what he was looking at the umpire. His mistake was the stride previous to the delivery stride is what on which basis he called it no ball.
Oh man.
Then look at that. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, here he has seen that he has landed his foot on the return crease, though the delivery side is perfectly all right.
Yeah.
He called it a no ball and gave that a not out. The poor bowler couldn't do anything. So it is always only the delivery side which is mistakes. We learn from other people's mistakes also. All right. No ball front foot position. Let us have a look at this video now, which we of course know all this now. He lands inside and goes outside. It is a fair delivery. This is a fair delivery if it lands inside and goes outside. Here raised is all right. Some portion has to be behind the popping crease, whether grounded or raised is fine. We are okay with that. Back foot no ball. Front foot is fine. Here again, here heel was raised. It was not never touching. It was never touching. Therefore, no ball. Fair delivery. Heel is raised. This is a no ball on the back foot. No ball on the front foot, which we normally see. At that time, when this video was made, this center line no ball wasn't there for the front foot. Therefore, it is not there on this particular video. Okay. Let me show you here. No ball back foot is not there. Now look at this. Back foot no ball. Look at this. You see this? He is right here on the back foot. Now here it doesn't matter. His whole foot is there on the return crease. That is clearly no ball. Now this is what I was talking to you about. Look at this, please. The no ball is being checked. So he's been asked to stop. You have the audio, all of you?
No, I think no, we don't have the audio from the video you're sharing.
Okay.
That's okay, I guess. I mean, it's...
All right. Now here again, you see there is a touching of the foot, the front of the foot. There is a touching of the front of the foot where he is not touching the return crease. So here they say there is fine, but actually, if you look at the landing of the foot, is definitely he's touching the line. But at in higher grade of cricket, it wouldn't be a no ball. But for commoners like you and me, it will have to be a no ball. You can't judge this otherwise. See, here it is. He has touched it. When the landing here, it is not a no ball. Here it is a no ball. For you and me, this counts. This is never going to count for you and me. You can't judge it like that. So this is also landing. This is also landing. This is the first touch. The law doesn't say first contact with of the foot. This is also landing of the foot. So for commoners like you and me, this would be on any Saturday. This would be a no ball. Whereas in higher grade of cricket, they would judge it from this position. Here, they would judge it from this position. Here, at this position, this is not a no ball. I'll just stop it at that place. They would judge it from this position, the first touching of the foot. See, landing is just not the toe landing. This is the whole landing of the foot. And that is the way I see it. You can't judge it without slow-mo and television. You can't judge it without that. So this wasn't given a no ball. So he was asked to go away. This wasn't given a no ball. There was something else also. I'll show you another video also of something like this. So it is the landing of the foot which is important, and in higher grade of cricket, it is the first contact of the foot from where it is judged. We would see the complete landing of the foot. So landing is just not this. All right. Anyway, uh, regardless, now bowler breaking the wicket in delivering the ball. This is there used to be a bowler, England bowler Glenn McGrath, who used to nearly once or twice in a match he would break the wicket because he used to bowl very close to the off stump, very close to the stump in trying to get the ball to move out. And either umpire shall call and signal no ball if the bowler breaks the wicket at any time after the ball comes into play. After the ball comes into play, if he breaks the wicket and before the completion of the stride after the delivery stride. Not only in the delivery stride, but also in the stride after the delivery stride.
That
Two
was
strides.
Stephen Finn from England.
Yeah?
Stephen Finn from
Yeah,
England.
saying something?
The bowler was Steve Finn from England, not McGrath from Australia.
Glenn McGrath from Australia, no? Who else are you talking
Hmm?
about?
Steve Finn from England.
Who?
Finn. Steve Finn
Okay, I don't
from
remember him
England.
because I don't know. Glenn McGrath used to do it often. I know that
Yes,
there may be a couple of
he tall
one in each country
fast bowler
perhaps.
from England.
What was his name?
Stephen Finn, sir. Stephen Finn.
Finch. Okay, all right.
Yes,
Finn,
So
Fin.
Fin. Okay.
Yes.
No, perhaps he was, but I remember only Glenn McGrath. He's etched in my memory. I remember him. He would invariably in every match at least once or twice he would break the wicket. So this law has been brought after that. That breaking the wicket in your run up is out is a no ball. Uh,
At
Other than in an attempt to run out the non-striker. Unless he has done it to run out the non-striker, that will not be. And this shall include any clothing or other object that falls from his person or breaks the wicket, or it may be his towel or his uh, goggles or whatever. But what is interesting here is uh, in the delivery stride, before the completion of the stride after the delivery stride. The only reason I can imagine why this is so is that sometimes the bowlers bowl from behind the bowling crease, from behind the bowling crease. So therefore, he is nowhere near the stumps when he delivers, but in the next stride, he would be close to the stump. Even in that second stride, if he breaks the wicket, it would still be a no ball. It would normally, if he bowls from the bowling crease, his second step is way beyond the popping crease. His next stride is way beyond the popping crease. He is not close to the delivery, not close to the stumps at all. This is included here to cover a situation of a bowler who is bowling from behind the bowling crease. Many spinners do it. So, in order to catch this fellow also, they have said the next stride is also relevant for this purpose. Delivery stride, you are far away from the stump, you are way behind, you are nearly where the umpire is. But in your next stride, you are right next to the stump. Even in that stride, if you break the stump, it is still a no ball. The only relevance for this is to catch a bowler who bowls from behind, because next stride he is going to be right at the stump, and that will also be a no ball. All right. So he cannot break the wicket anymore. This is another method uh, of now the following bowler drops the wicket, fails to leave the hand, all that is there. Uh, and see Law 20.12 revoke, which refers to now revoking a call of no ball. They have told you, they have given a cross reference to this. I'll discuss this later when we come to 21.12. I have in my book brought these points from 21.12, but it is right now it is not relevant. Uh, they have given cross references here. In 21.6, they are giving a cross reference. Definition of person and clothing is relevant. That is, they are drawing your attention to that. What is person? What is clothing? If he actually drops the ball, that will also be applicable. 20.4.10, they are giving a cross reference there, other than in an attempt to run him out. Then we come to ball bouncing more than once, rolling along the ground or pitching off the pitch. They are all three are together. All three together, they are treated similarly. They are treated similarly. Uh, where in all cases, if a ball there, this is a no ball. If the ball bounces more than once, now whether this is on the pitch, definitely on the pitch. Okay, bounces there more than once. It has gone forward, bounces more than once, rolls along the ground before it reaches the popping crease. The ball has gone forward, and before it has started rolling on the ground, or pitches wholly or partially off the pitch before it reaches the line of the striker's wicket. Before it reaches the line of the striker's wicket, uh, pitches wholly or partially off the pitch. All of these are no ball. But you should be also aware of the fact that the law says which the umpire considers to be a properly delivered ball. If you consider this to be a properly delivered ball and the ball goes on to bowl or roll along the ground, you will call it a no ball. But if you do not consider it a properly delivered ball, in the first instance, you would have called it dead ball. All those other things don't follow. So, which I'm therefore repeating what I told you in Law 17. In the first instance, you will make a judgment about whether or not this ball is properly delivered. It is not later on that you will be thinking of the past. No, your decision has to be made when the bowler is right next to you at the release of the ball. And how is the release? If the release is not proper, other things don't matter. Other things don't matter. Even if you are depriving the batting side of a no ball and a free hit, all of that doesn't matter. The law says that you have to, if you consider it to be a properly delivered ball, only then if it matches, bounces more than once, no ball, rolling around the ground before it reaches the popping crease, no ball, and pitches wholly or partially off the pitch before it reaches the line of the wicket, no ball. But if you have regarded it as not a properly delivered ball, it was dead ball in the first instance only. You will not wait for other things to happen. You must call dead ball earlier only. Remember that. This law allows you to do it. So what I said in 17, law 17, every ball that every time the bowler passes you and releases the ball, you have to make a judgment call whether it is a properly delivered ball or not. Not after the behavior of the ball. No, at that time. Any ball, absolutely any ball. Okay. This only substantiates what I told you in Law 17. Now here, I want you to remember this. Before it reaches the line of the striker's wicket, what is meant by this? It has, suppose there is a ball which has pitched behind the line of the striker wicket, right next to the wicket keeper. Will you call that? You're not supposed to call that. It won't be a no ball. Because otherwise, every full toss missed by the batsman will be a no ball because it is going to pitch out behind him. So that is not a no ball. It is only the sideways pitching outside is what is not permitted. If it goes straight and pitches behind the line of the wicket, it is not a no ball. It is not a no ball because otherwise every full toss will be is going to pitch behind. You can't call that a no ball. The wicket keeper is standing back and I bowl a full toss to the batsman, the striker. He misses that ball or he lets it go and that ball pitches behind the wicket. That it has pitched off the pitch because that is where the pitch is. But this will not be no ball because the pitching has to take place before it reaches the line of the striker's wicket. So it is only, therefore, it is only sideways pitching off. Now, for example, here we had one here, the ball pitching outside here. Here the ball pitches outside. There it is. Now here it is pitched wholly or partially. This is a very correct call because as you will see, the ball has pitched right on the line. Here it is, right on the line. This line is marked by means of dotted line. So wholly or partially outside the pitch it has pitch, therefore it is a no ball. This is perfectly in order. That is why nowadays it has become important for you to have a properly marked pitch, that you should be clear about where the pitch starts and where it ends. Here it has been done by means of dotted lines. I had suggested to you, if you are involved in the preparation, tell him to put a string here and roll it in. That gives you a better idea. All right. Then we have here this one also. Look at this. The same thing as before, the earlier video, it has pitched right on the line and properly called no ball. Now this must be news to Rohit Sharma also. It looks like that. So this is also properly called no ball. Wholly or partially, the ball pitches wholly or partially off the pitch. That means even if it is on the line, it is a no ball. Even if it is on the line, it is a no ball. Let me see if I have something else for you. Okay, now look at this. Look at this graphic. Which of these would you call a no ball? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, please tell me.
I would say 2 and 3.
All right, let us look at it again. Which of these, according to you, is a no ball? As per these laws, this particular law that we have studied, 21.7. Yes.
2 and 3.
All right. Why not 1?
One is inside. It's not.
No, it is
I
partially within, partially on outside. What about
well,
1 and 4 are
one
same?
didn't. One doesn't look. It looked like pitched in. I mean, although that angle looks like a quarter of ball outside, but it didn't land outside, right? Or on the
No, see, even partially landing outside is no ball. 1 and
Okay.
4 are the same. Partial, the right on the line, on the edge of the crease, of the pitch, which is partially outside.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Then 1 and 4 as well.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
What about 6?
6 I would not, because it's behind the wicket.
All right. This is
Excuse
not
me,
a no
sir.
ball
Excuse me,
because,
sir.
yes, yes, Shweta.
Sir, sir, uh, sir, are the crease markings are the lining? So suppose I was assuming that that 10 foot 10 foot marking.
Yes, 10 foot, yes, 10 foot. The pitch is
No, the
10 feet,
four.
5 feet from the center.
Yes, sir. जो fourth वाला है, sir. That ball seems to be within the pitch, sir. On the
No,
pitch, right?
it is, see, it is right on the